Thank you guys for coming today. I don't know if you brought pens or paper or just have a really good memory, but try to take mental notes at the very least, because of course you'll all get a chance to do this in another, I don't know how many weeks. What classes do we have here today? We have A plus and Net 3. Oh, your time is coming soon. Excellent. It's a lot of fun, actually. It's a lot of hard work, and I want to congratulate these guys. They did an amazing job. First of all, I'm going to introduce the class of July 11th, 2008 as the class of July 11th, 2008, and tell you what a great job. These guys worked so hard. They came in this morning to finish the project. I thought they were done yesterday. Had one little detail that hadn't been ironed out, and they just had to show up because they just had to have it completed. And they've done a great job. They've all got at least one certification, I believe. 2 or 3 will probably be MCSA certified by next week. Is that right? Is it 3 we're talking about? 4? Possibly by next week? They worked really hard. Really hard. I'm very proud of these guys, and they've done the best job on the project I've seen to date. It's going to be kind of a tough act to follow up. So we may change the project just to keep you guys guessing. I don't know. But anyway, without any further ado, the class of July 11, 2008.
I'm in the USA.
And I'm in Canada.
I'm in Lake Hattie.
I'm in Elk Island.
I like hot dogs, baseball, and Coca-Cola.
I like Putin, hockey, and Coca-Cola.
I like sports.
I like sports.
I sell sports clothing.
I make sports clothing.
I would like to expand my company to international markets, diversify my product line, and develop new partnerships.
Me too, eh?
I want to buy you.
I only take loonies.
Mark Hutchinson.
Jared Metzler.
Done. This, Miami, are the problems we need to overcome.
So, how are we going to make this happen?
Fret not, my border buddy. I have a crack team of IT experts. IT team, assemble! James Adams. Chad Harris.
Hello, Jeff Cordray.
Vernon McHenry.
Blake Lenny.
Hello, Barney Lanks.
Because of the concerns of the North American Free Trade Agreement, we need to create 2 forests to keep the data separate. One forest will be called Lake Hattie, and the other forest will be called Elk Island. Lake Hattie is located in the United States, and Elk Island is located in Canada. In order to make the forests communicate, we need to create a forest trust.
Before you can create the forest trust, first you have to implement domain naming system, or DNS. After you have DNS implemented, then you need to create stub zones for each forest that point to the other forest. You want to keep these stub zones out of Active Directory for the moment. Stub zone is nothing more than a copy of the other forest's DNS that you hold inside your DNS. Then you'll raise the forest and domain functionality to 2003. Then we can create the trust between each forest. After the trust is created in both forests, then each needs to validate the incoming and outgoing trust. After the trusts are validated, we'll put the stub zones in Active Directory for security purposes, and then we'll reload both stub zones. So that we can keep our DNS private and stop any unauthorized access to our naming convention, we'll turn recursion off for our DNS servers. Recursion is nothing more than our server asking public DNS servers questions about name resolution. To do this, you just go into the properties of your DNS server, go to the Foreigners tab, and then select any other DNS domains, and select the checkbox for do not use recursion for these domains.
Lake Hattie currently has 12 corporate or 12 retail stores in two shipping locations. We needed a way to keep all of these organized. So what we did was create OUs, also known as organizational units, and by doing this, we were able to group these to make to apply group policies and with the least amount of administrative effort.
The problem with combining legacy Unix systems and 2003 Windows servers is password policy. Because Unix can only implement an 8-character password without using any special characters. By default, the 2003 servers have to use special characters in their passwords. To overcome this problem, we suggest creating a group policy that is applied to both shipping OUs that lowers the minimum password length. To apply this policy, we should add it to the Group Policy Manager as the last policy applied. By moving this policy to the last applied, when shipping logs on, the policy will apply only to them through security filters. All others will move on to the default group policy. To overcome the problem of system naming between NetBIOS and WINS, we suggest using the WINS proxy agent. This will allow any non-WINS client to use a proxy agent to help them find resources on other subnets. To set up the WINS proxy agent, we would make a change to the registry of the Windows workstation.
For the retail stores, only the full-time administrative staff and the managers will need an account in the Active Directory. This will be done in order for them to access resources on the network. This will be done by adding each individual to their own store's organizational unit and giving them the appropriate permissions. The stores will need occasional access to the corporate network, as well as the ability to connect to resources in the regional shipping offices and the corporate headquarters on demand. This will be done by the use of a virtual private network, or a VPN, to the corporate office. This will allow access to the shipping offices as well. VPN, in simple terms, is a private connection constructed within a public network interface, such as the internet, so that public users cannot access the private data. Each company will have a single public address to be used for internet access in order to be able to utilize the internet resources. This will be accomplished by the use of the routers and NAT, which is a network address translation. To enable this functionality, we'll start the routing remote access service on the router, and in the routing remote access console, we'll select the general tab in the new routing protocol and choose NAT. After choosing this, we'll select the NAT in the console tree and apply this to the appropriate NIC, which is a network interface card. Network address translating is nothing more than translating your internal private IP addresses into a public address that you can access the internet. And finally, each individual retail store is going to have its own internet connection at the discretion of the store managers. This will be accomplished through the use of the local ISP, or internet service providers, for each store's location.